Hello everyone, my name is Cliford Iroanya. I come from Aro and Aro is a community in the Olu province of the old eastern region of the failed Lugadian experiment and the British created criminal enterprise, otherwise called Nigeria. And I'm reaching you from Houston, Texas, United States of America, on this 27th day of May 2022. This presentation is my response to the utterances of General Abdulsalami Abubakar during an interview he had with the Guardian newspaper, as was published on May 25, 2022, and the interview was conducted by Muyiwa Adeyemi and Bala Yahaya. So I am here to respond to 7 key utterances he made. And I'm going to end it up also with revealing a secret why General Abdulsalami Abubakar made those responses and those utterances rather, and also why many northern elements, when I talk about north, I mean people from this region. If you can zoom in here, you can see the Sharia belt. This is the alliance territory. This is the Sharia belt. People from this region, this Sharia belt, they are all coming out to the media now, granting interviews, talking about how we must not tamper with the constitution, so-called, of Nigeria. As a matter of fact, I got information that the APC party has put a condition that if you must be their flag bearer, the presidential candidate, you must not tamper with the fraudulent 1999 constitution, meaning that the work of Ninas is really working. They are in a panic mood now. They are panic-stricken. And that was what led General Abdulsalami Abubakar to make these utterances. And I'm going to respond to 7 of them. 7 utterances of General Abdulsalami Abubakar that I'm going to respond this hour. The first one, he said, and I quote, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, who supervised a successful transition that handed over the reign of power to a democratically elected government on May 29, 1999, also declared that there is nothing wrong with the 1999 constitution his administration bequeathed to the country. And here is my response to his first utterance here, utterance number 1, which is that there is everything wrong with the fraudulent 1999 constitution. I repeat, there is everything wrong with the fraudulent 1999 constitution. First of all, it is an appendage of Decree 24. As a matter of fact, when you look at that Decree 24, which was signed, promulgated on the 5th of May, 1999, the so-called constitution is even a schedule, is a part of just an appendage of that decree number 24. This is the decree itself. I'm having here the decree. When you look at the decree, you go to the very bottom, you see where it says schedule, and then the so-called constitution. So it is very, very wrong. There's everything wrong. It is a military ordinance. And then the most critical part of it is that the constitution itself started with lies. It told 2 lies. First of all, it said that we, the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having firmly and solemnly resolved to live in unity and harmony as one individual and indissoluble sovereign nation under God, blah, 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 blah. So the question is, when did we firmly and solemnly resolve? Where did we firmly and solemnly resolve? How did we firmly and solemnly resolve? For those who do not know, the word solemn means coming together in agreement, means assembling at a place. And let me put the record straight. From the time Nigeria was formed in 1914, all the way to 2015, there has never been any solemn assembly conducted anywhere by anybody in the entire Nigeria. The first solemn assembly in the history of Nigeria was conducted on the 27th of April 2015 in Port Harcourt by the peoples of the Lower Niger, being organized by the Lower Niger Congress. And here, Abdulsalami and his colleagues are lying that we, the people of Nigeria, solemnly and firmly resolved. Where did we conduct that solemn assembly? So that one is a big lie. Then the second one is said that we, the people, do hereby make, enact, and give unto ourselves the following constitution. The question is, again, is when did we make, enact, and give unto ourselves this constitution? And where did we make, enact, and give unto ourselves this constitution? And how did we make, enact, and give unto ourselves this constitution? So you can see that first of all, the constitution, the so-called constitution, is a military ordinance, is promulgated by a decree, and it lied in its preamble. So that very first utterance, which says, well, saying that there is nothing wrong, that is a lie. There is everything wrong in the fraudulent 1999 constitution. Let me go to the second utterance. The second utterance, it says, the former head of state, I'm reading now, the former head of state said he was surprised that after 23 years that the constitution has been operational, that after 23 years that the constitution has been operational, some Nigerians rose up against it and described it as the root cause of all problems facing the country. This again shows that Abdulsalami Abubakar is a liar. He is not telling the truth. Why? Because Abdulsalami Abubakar was aware of a body called Pronaco. As a matter of fact, his brother or his kinsman, who is the current president of Nigeria, was part of the Pronaco who came around and rejected and repudiated this constitution. So he is very much aware. And then the Pronaco later transformed into what they call the MNN, the Movement for New Nigeria, which filed a lawsuit in May of 2007 challenging the legitimacy of this constitution. From there, the MNN charged all the blocks to go and conduct solemn assembly, like I mentioned earlier. So on the 27th of April 2015, the peoples, indigenous peoples of the Lower Niger, conducted solemn assembly where they rejected and repudiated the constitution. In 2017, the Oduduwa, the people of the Southwest, conducted their solemn assembly at Adamasingba Stadium in Ibadan, where they rejected and repudiated the constitution. In 2018, the people of the Middle Belt had their own solemn assembly, where they rejected and repudiated the 1999 constitution. So why is General Abdulsalami Abubakar pretending or lying that the people are just coming up after 23 years? That is a pure lie. By the way, General Abdulsalami Abubakar's wife was a judge as at the time all these processes were going on. In fact, she rose to be the chief judge of Niger State between 2013 till 2016, when she retired from civil service. She was the chief judge of Niger State from 2013 to 2016. And she knows all about it. So why will Abdulsalami Abubakar say that people are just coming up? They are just coming up 23 years after. Now, let me even put it this way. The the solemn assembly, there was also the Freedom Park Proclamation, which was done on December 11, 2018. Then the whole thing climaxed to the December 16 event 2020, whereby the NINAS, the MNN now has now transformed into the NINAS, which is Nigeria Indigenous Nationality Alliance for Self-Determination. You can see it right behind me at my back. NINAS. NINAS now, first of all, did three things. One, they observed, or rather, they raised what is called Union of Sovereignty Disputes. Two, they stated constitutional grievances. And then three, as a result of the union dispute, constitutional grievances, they proclaimed a constitutional force majeure with associated 5 demands. All these things have been happening up to 2020, as at December 16, 2020. And then they followed it up with executing and activating the consequences of the constitutional force majeure. And Abdulsalami Abubakar is coming here now to tell us that it is just this year, because when you look at 1999 to 2022, that's 23 years. It's just telling us that it is just this 2020, 2022 that people are talking about it, meaning he's lying. Okay, let's even follow his argument. May I remind you, viewing this video, that the apartheid constitution came into force in 1910. Let me repeat that. In South Africa, the apartheid constitution came into existence in 1910. It was in 1990 that Frederick de Klerk of South Africa and his apartheid regime put into place the CODESA, which is the transitioning body. Now check it. From 1910 to 1990, that is 80 solid years. And he is complaining about 23 years. What does that tell you? Now, let me stop it at that. I'll go to number 3 utterance. And that number 3 utterance is divided into two, the A part and the B part. Let me take the A part, and I'm reading directly. It says, and for those who have been clamoring for an interim government till the country has a new constitution, General Abubakar said, while he was not begrudging their personal opinion, he said their demand could not be found in the Constitution of Nigeria, which makes it unconstitutional, and urged them to join hands with the National Assembly in its ongoing efforts of amending the Constitution. First of all, let me say this. Nigeria, he said, there are two words he used here, which I want to make a clarification on. Number one, he said, begrudging those who have their personal opinion. NINAS is not a personal thing. NINAS is a movement or a platform of the owners of the land. It is not a personal opinion. He was actually referring to an interview granted Tony Nnadi by the Guardian newspaper. Tony Nnadi is a spokesperson of NINAS. He wasn't speaking for himself. He was speaking for NINAS. So it is not personal. Secondly, he said that the demand could not be found in the Constitution of Nigeria. Point of correction. There is no such thing as Constitution of Nigeria, because Nigerians did not make this constitution. So you cannot call it Constitution of Nigeria. It will become Constitution of Nigeria when Nigerians make it. So we didn't make it. That's number one. Number two, we also want to correct him that NINAS is demanding, not asking. NINAS is demanding a transitioning body, not an interim government. In South Africa, there was apartheid government. Apartheid government was in existence. And the CODESA was also in existence alongside doing its work. That is what NINAS is demanding. And that's what NINAS is saying. It's not saying that the government should just, NINAS is saying that they do not have any problem with those in power. They should remain. Why the transition body will do its work. So that statement does not really make anything. First of all, he mangled it, and then he tried to put words in the mouth of the Ninas people, who saying that it's interim government. It is not. Let me go to the B part. Now, on the B part of his utterance number 3, he asked several questions, and I'm going to answer those questions. Number 1, he said, does the Constitution allow interim government? And the answer is, my response and answer is that this transitioning body is not an interim government. And by the way, the Constitution is a fraud. So it's not a Constitution of Nigeria. But even if I'm to answer him, it's a transitioning body. The government can do continue to stay while the transitioning body continue to do what it's supposed to do. Number 2, there were 7 questions he asked, so I'm answering those 7 questions. Number 2 question, he says, why are you creating a problem in trying to solve a problem? My answer is, the Nina's proposition is actually a permanent solution. It's not creating anything, it's a permanent solution. The 3rd question he asked, he said, how long is that interim government? Well, the transitioning body, again, not interim government, he said, how long is that interim government? That is, how long will it take? So let me say this, that the transitioning body will take no more than 6 months to conclude its work and finish up the regional referendum, come out with the outcome, and then whatever follows will follow. 6 months is enough. So if we start it now, we should even be done before the end of this year. Number 4, he said, how do we select the leader of the interim government to serve? And he keeps using the word interim government, but I'm correcting him. Transitioning body. The transitioning body, the representation will be selected from among the indigenous peoples. Among the indigenous people, who will now select it among themselves. We did it in 1957. Those who went and represented us at Lancaster House. How did we do it? Then there was no such government, but we still have people who represented us. And we can do it. It's still the same us. We can do it. All we need to do is organize ourselves according to our ethnic nationalities in our ancestral land. Number 5, he said, is he going to be a military coup? No. I know he's a military man. All he knows is about coup. It's not a military coup, but a simple transitioning body with constituent powers. That means power above the constitution. That is why they should go ahead and conduct or midwife the conducting of regional referendum, which is not even in the fraudulent 1999 constitution, except for what we have in section 8, which is just for creation of states. The number 6, he said, how do you start getting the leader of the transition? We will get it by requesting indigenous people to select from among themselves those who will represent them. And that will be selected from the ethnic nationality in their ancestral land. Let me give an example. I am an Igbo man. We are going to select our representative from Igbo land. The Igbo people will select their Igbo representative. The Ijaw people will select their Ijaw representative. The Anang people will select their Anang representative. Those from Beram will select their own. That is how it's going to be done, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, in case you don't know. Then the last one, he said, well, a lot of things will go wrong because you will not have a constitutional leader. That is a lie. The apartheid constitution was still in place. Pedro de Klerk was still constitutionally the leader of South Africa, but the transitioning body was still there, the CODESA, doing their job. So there's nothing will go wrong because those selected by their own people will represent their own people. Their people will select them and they will represent them and be their leader. That is the end of the utterance number 3. Now let me go to utterance number 4. Utterance number 4 has 4 parts, and I'm going to take them one after the other. The first one is, he said, and I'm quoting directly now. He said those who condemned the 1999 constitution, saying it was fostered on the people without Nigerians' input, might have forgotten that his administration set up Constitution Debate Coordinating Committee, CDCC, headed by Supreme Court Justice Nikki Toby and Dr. Suleiman Komo as deputy chairman. Well, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, let me inform you and enlighten you that when you want to, or when a country is set to have a new constitution, they don't set up a debate coordinating committee. They set up what is called a constitution drafting committee. Constitution drafting committee, not debating. We are not going there to debate. We're going there to draft a constitution and discuss it. So you started on the wrong note and you selected a debating, constitution debating instead of a constitution drafting committee. And they are supposed to go around and visit all the ethnic nationalities, do town hall meeting, and do everything that is required. So that shows that you didn't know what you were doing. You started on a wrong footing. The second part, he said, he disclosed no military formation was visited during the assignment and wondered why people described the constitution as a document that emanated from the military. Where did it emanate from? You got Nikki Toby, they went to hotels, enjoyed themselves, and came out and transformed the 1979 constitution into 1999 constitution, and then you put it in a decree. This is the decree that produced the 1999 constitution, so-called. It's a decree. So why are you saying that it is not handled by the military? It's the military. It's a military decree. It's part of decree number 24. Look at it. Signed on the 5th day of May 1999. Decree number 24. Decree. So why are you saying that it is not military? Why are you saying so? Let me go to the third part. He said, that is General Abdulsalami Abubakar said, what is unfortunate in the whole matter is that people are now faulting it after 23 years of existence. Again, I make reference to the apartheid constitution that was there for 80 years. So, how can you compare that? 80 years and another 23 years. What is fraudulent is fraudulent. Let me give an example. If I, Dr. Cliford Iroanya, comes and steal your car, your vehicle, and I use that vehicle for 23 years, does that vehicle not still remain with the status of a stolen vehicle? Is it because the car has been with me for 23 years? I have changed the tire, I may have repainted it, I may have changed the car seats, I may have put different car stereo. Still does not mean that it is not a stolen, it is still a stolen car. The number of years that I used that car does not matter. So saying that people are coming 23 years after does not remove the fact that this document is a fraudulent document. It was illegitimately made. Okay, it's a fraudulent document. Now, let me go to the last one of number 4. He said, but unknown to many of the critics of his administration, the 1999 Constitution was a product of the 1975 Constituent Assembly, attended by many eminent Nigerians across the country. This is where I am very, very disappointed with General Abdulsalami Abubakar. First of all, the 1979, so-called 1979 Constitution was written by Professor Ben Wabweze and Chief Rotimi Williams. That's one. Then 2, you made reference to 1975 Constituent Assembly. That is a big lie, because the Constituent Assembly was inaugurated on August 31, 1977 by Obasanjo. It wasn't 1975. So you need to get your history correct. But that by the side, the Constituent Assembly did its work and rejected many provisions in that draft constitution, among which are 1, they rejected the state structure, because when we agreed to come together for independence, we agreed to have regional system, That means we have regions, and those regions to be autonomous. That's one. Two, we agreed to have the prime ministerial system, so that you don't concentrate power in the hands of one man. We never agreed on presidential system. So the Constituent Assembly rejected those two very provisions, among others. But what happened? September 21, 1978, Obasanjo came to the national television and introduced 17 amendments to the finished work of this same Constituent Assembly you are referring to, cancelling all the things that the Constituent Assembly rejected. Obasanjo reinstated them through that September 21, 1978 broadcast. He didn't just stop there. Obasanjo went ahead and promulgated that draft constitution into existence as a constitution of Nigeria 1979. And you begin to ask, where in the world is a constitution activated by military decree? It has never happened except in Nigeria. Do you know that Ghana, Rawlings, was a military president in Ghana? They drafted the constitution. In 1992, after doing everything, they subjected that constitution to a referendum, to a vote. The citizens voted. And that is what Abdulsalami Abubakar is referring to, 1979. So the 1979 constitution is flawed in all its ramifications. So this question, this utterance here doesn't hold water. So you need to understand that. Now, the fifth one, let me go, the fifth utterance. I'm reading now. It says, reacting to the allegation that the constitution was forced on Nigerians, General Abubakar said, how did we force it? Okay, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, I'm going to tell you how you forced Nigerians. First of all, you forced the fraudulent constitution through a military decree. You decreed it by military decree number 24. Number two, you never subjected that constitution to a referendum like Ghana did in 1992. Three, you brought the constitution into existence by promulgating a military decree instead of asking the people to vote. Number four, you did not give Nigerians the opportunity to read and digest the document. So you forced it on us. Number five, you did not give Nigerians the chance to vote for or against like Ghana did in 1992. So don't ask that question of how did you force it. Yes, you forced it on us. Utterance number 6. I'm getting close to ending this video. Utterance number 6. He said, fielding question on why his administration did not organize a Constituent Assembly to produce a new constitution with input from nationalities. Did you hear that? With input, that's what they were asking him. And then he said, this is what General Abdulsalami said. He said, when you organize Constituent Assembly, is it not Nigerians that you will invite to be there? Is it every Nigerian that you will talk to? Are they different from the people Justice Nikitobi committee spoke to? Was there a military man in that committee who produced that constitution? How are you sure that every nationality is going to be represented? Look at the questions he's asking, and these are my response. 1, so you don't want Nigerians to decide on how they want to relate and be governed? 2, Abdulsalami Abubakar, why will you not talk to every Nigerian on matters relating to their governance and internal relationship? 3, Abdulsalami Abubakar, who did Justice Nikitobi speak to? And why did he not organize a town hall to ask everybody in the nook and cranny of the country about this very task that they were given? Number 4, why did they rush to produce a constitution in less than 40 days? In fact, it was less than 40 days. It started in November 11, and they finished up before December 30th of 1998. Why the rush? Number 5. Number 5. The 1999 Constitution has been rejected because the nationalities did not make input. That is what happened. Let me go to the last one before I give the secret why he made all those utterances. Number 7, he said, we are fixated on regional politics, in thinking for our village, in thinking of our state, in thinking for our region. You meet people, instead of thinking about Nigeria, we are thinking about our village, state, region before you talk about Nigeria. Yes, this is because when we entered into independence, on the basis that we are going to be regions that are autonomous. So if you want us to think about Nigeria globally, then we have to go and renegotiate. We have to renegotiate so that we can now say, okay, let's think about Nigeria. Otherwise, we will continue to look at ourselves on regional autonomy. So you don't just force that on us. Those who went to the Lancaster House between 1957 and 1959, they went there as representatives of the region. And that's why you have Chief Obafemi Awolowo developing the Western region, Michael Opara and Zik and others developing the Eastern region, Ahmadu Bello, Abubakar Tafawa Bello developing the Northern region. And we saw better progress than this fractured 36 states, which we never agreed to do. So all these things that Abdulsalami Abubakar said is just nonsense. Because why? He is panic-stricken. Now, let me give you the 3 reasons, the secret. There are 3 of them. Why Abdulsalami Abubakar made these utterances and why Northerners, those from this region, why they are now running all over the media houses in Nigeria, granting interviews, talking about the constitution, the need to keep it intact. There are 3 reasons. First reason is that Abdulsalami Abubakar is afraid to be stripped of judicial immunity. I repeat, General Abdulsalami Abubakar and his cohorts, including our own Obasanjo, they are all afraid of judicial immunity. Why did I say so? If you go to this useless document called the 1999 Constitution, if you go to section 6, subsection 6D, D as in David, section 6, subsection 6D, it gives immunity, judicial immunity, for anyone who has been involved in government and in the military from January 15, 1966 up to May 29, 1999. So all of them that did all the havoc. By the way, General Abdulsalami Abubakar was born on the 13th of June. By the way, same birthday with my wife, 13th of June, 1942. He was 21 years old when he entered the military. He was first admitted into the Air Force in 1963. After 3 years, he was redeployed to the Army in 1966. And in October, I think October 3rd or 10th, he was commissioned as second lieutenant in the Nigerian Army. So you can see that from 1966, he's been involved all the way to May 29. And the Constitution, this Constitution says that anyone in that group, there's no court in Nigeria that will try that person. That person is immune from any court trial. So that is what he is afraid of, because he knows that if this document, this Constitution goes down, that immunity goes. Same thing with all of them. Then number 2, this Constitution will eliminate, bringing down this Constitution will eliminate northern dominance. The domination of everything in Nigeria by the northern part of the country is only made possible by this Constitution. And where is that? Is in section 3. Section 3 is the key to the northern dominance in politics and everything in Nigeria. If you want to amend this constitution today, you can only amend it based on the power given by Section 3. If you want to share the resources of Nigeria today, it's going to be based on Section 3 of this useless constitution. If you want to allocate anything at all, in fact, it is Section 3 that controls Section 48 and Section 49. Let me repeat that. Section 48 and Section 49 of the Constitution is dependent on Section 3. And the climax of it all is that Section 134, subsection 2, is dependent on Section 3. And it is that Section 3 that is going to determine who wins the presidential candidate of the two major parties. And ultimately, it is Section 3. Let me repeat that. It is Section 3 of this fraudulent constitution that determines who will be the president of Nigeria. The condition for winning the Nigerian election under this constitution is stated in 134, subsection 2. That is Section 134, subsection 2. And that Section 134, subsection 2 is dependent on Section 3. So if this constitution goes down, Section 3 goes down. The northern power, all the powers that the north are flexing, all their arrogance, everything they are doing in Nigeria is dependent on Section 3 of this constitution. And that is what they don't want to joke with. Now, the final thing, the third one, why Abdulsalami made all these utterances and why the northerners are going all over the place. I repeat, people from this area, they are now going to all the newspaper houses, all the television houses, granting interview. They do not want restructuring, unencumbered, total and complete restructuring of Nigeria. They don't want it at all. And if this constitution goes down, Section 3 goes down with it. And Section 3 is the section that is stopping or is the blockade for restructuring of Nigeria. And let me tell you, those of you who are clamoring for restructuring, you can never get restructuring as long as Section 3 or as long as this constitution is in existence. In fact, let me use the word this constitution because it is in this constitution that you have Section 3. And it is Section 3 that controls Section 9, which is the one that you used to amend it. You heard when I read, when you talk about, let us put hands together and amend. You cannot amend this constitution without going through Section 3. And you can never restructure Nigeria as long as this constitution is in existence. Because inside this constitution, you have Section 3. And that is the section that makes the southern part of Nigeria permanent minority. Peter is jumping around now. Section 3 is waiting for him. All of them that are from the south and middle belt, Section 3 is waiting for you in this constitution. So what is the solution? We need to stop the journey to Golgotha, which is the 2023 general election. We need to bring down this document. This document goes down, Section 3 goes down. Section 3 goes down, the northern part is rendered powerless. Section 3 goes down, the northern part is no longer a threat. Section 3 goes down, restructuring is at your beck and call. Section 3 goes down, if you are looking for Biafra, you are going to have it like that. Section 3 goes down, if you are looking for Oduduwa Republic, you are going to have it just like that. The same thing for resource control, the same thing for Niger Delta nation or Igbo nation or any nation at all. The barrier between you and realizing your goal is the Constitution. It's actually Section 3, which is embedded in this Constitution And if this constitution goes down, it goes down with Section 3. And that will be the end of our woes. Thank you very much. And just good people. God bless you. And I'll come back to you later on. Thank you, and bye-bye for now.